and welcome back to Derailed. This is Season 1, Episode 18. My name is Gregory, and as always, I'm joined by Harrison and Adash. What's up, boys?
What's up, Gregory? How you doing?
Oh, what the hell? I didn't like that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure in most of the earlier episodes I said Greg. I don't know when it changed to Gregory in my script, but I am now erasing that. And now it says Greg like it should. Today it is Gregory's turn to choose the topic. Gregory, what's the topic? Thanks, Gregory. Today's topic. So actually, this is my last episode for season 1. So I was like, what's something, sort of like wrap uppy that I can do for this season? So the topic for this week is it's a season 1 episode tier list. So we're gonna tier list all our previous episodes. Yeah.
Wait.
So
Oh my god.
I'll use a tier list website to create it for you guys. So I'll send that out to you like tomorrow or something. But so the way it's gonna work is it's gonna be ranked S tier through C tier. So just put every episode in one of those tiers, and then next week I will just name episode. Or we'll just go episode 1, 2, 3, 4 like successively.
Yeah.
And then we'll just discuss what our ranking was for it and why. Yeah.
Interesting. The thing is, we won't even have episode 19 or 20 on there.
Yeah. We don't have 19 or 20 for it, but I mean, if you want, we can rank those in advance, just as like a prediction.
Yeah. We can predict them.
Did we already have episode 20's topic? I forgot.
Yeah,
we do. 20 is the letter to our future self.
We're gonna.
Right.
Yeah. We'll share the letter to our future selves. I think.
We don't have one for 19 though, so we'll just have to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Dash's topic, so I want to put it as like a
Damn.
I am interested to see if we have like very similar opinions or like different opinions based on.
I think certain ones we all know.
Yeah, I think there's like a few that like we'll agree on, but
other
I am
ones
interested to see.
I know one that's for a fact C tier, and then one that's S tier for a fact.
Oh yeah.
The rest of C.
Yeah.
All right. This actually we'll talk about that later.
All right. Before we get to that, how are you guys doing this week?
Feeling pretty good. We had actually a rush of work halfway through the week because there was like a lot of markup comments from the what's it called, more senior, our project manager and senior work engineers to fix all the the stuff on our sheets and whatnot. So like Wednesday. So they were one of the what's it called? The sets were sent back for us to like review on Friday. I did my edits right by like Monday morning, because they're really quick, small edits for me, right?
Yeah.
The senior what's it called? Coworker above me, who's like it's the same. They're all for Lincoln County. There's 4 sites, and so 2 are assigned to myself and my senior coworker, and the other 2 are assigned to 2 other the electrical engineer designers. So we're in 2 and 2, but because they're all for the same company, from us and from the same what's it called, owner, we were supposed they wanted it to have all like be more concise, because technically because there's different designers working on it, we have our own like ways of putting things on things. So there were some small discrepancies in how it was designed. Using all the same symbols, but some of the sizing and kind of placements were a little bit different. So we had to get our PM wanted it done and sent back to her by Wednesday, so she could re-review and then send it back to us if we need to, so they can send it to the owner by Thursday. My senior coworker didn't really look at the markups for her to edit until like Tuesday night, Wednesday.
Oh boy.
So Wednesday was just scrambling back and forth, sending it back and forth to each other, to marking it up. And I mean, she's had a really busy week, and we had another set that was due Friday that I sent to her the previous like Wednesday or Thursday that she didn't actually mark up until literally Friday, like an hour before I was about to leave. Which it sucks, but she's been like in and out doing a whole bunch of shit, and so I was like, I can get like 2 done. But I had I had a lunch with an old friend after work, and I was like, I don't mind coming back after that, to finish some OT and and getting it done, because it wasn't difficult. It was just and technically the small markups, the main markups, were actually my fault because of how I scaled things. And so I was like, it's technically my fuck up. So granted, no one actually said anything about it or clarified to me that how I was supposed to do it. So I was like, I wouldn't really have known. Looking back, I could have checked it, and it would have been wouldn't have been an issue now. But and she was like, you know what? She wants it by tonight, but that's too bad. So she can get it Monday because we're busy. Or she's been busy. So I was like, damn, that sucks. And in other news, this weekend, I should also get a project car.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Yep. Hopefully tomorrow. We're gonna go look at a 1997 Honda Del Sol. It is the S trim, which is the base trim, and it has the D16 engine in it, which isn't really the most powerful thing in the world. I would have liked to have the B16, but those mean nothing to you guys thinking about it.
Yeah. Personally, I'd go for the F16 because the missiles are cool. But
actually, I think the F24 motors are the most recent ones, and this is actually the one in the Accord we have, and it's really good.
No.
Shut up. But yeah,
it can't be true.
okay.
It is interesting. I think last week's episode was actually pretty good as like a kickstart because like Harry got back into 3D printing ish, and Adash is working on his game and stuff and his other thing. So it seems like it seems to have kickstarted us a lot.
Oh yeah,
not working on his game. Adash has been
Okay,
spending the entire week swamped working on a shitty website. Because that's...
you've been working on the cook thing.
Yeah.
Recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had something to model real quick, so I went through modeling that, and now I have to fine tune my 3D printer because something's gone wrong.
As always.
Yeah. It's every time I stop and start it for like a little burst of printing, there's always something that needs to be fixed up, and I'm like, what happened? You're literally just sitting there the whole time. Like, what's fucking with you?
Time.
I guess, but it's like it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, come on, I just need you just always not
just
always
work
but like if I'm not like fucking flipping you upside down and then turning you back over and slamming you to the ground, like you're just standing still the whole time. What is changing?
Yeah, it's
Harry to his body sometimes.
Okay,
that's also true.
Fuck.
Yesterday was so annoying. I spent like the entire day. It was my birthday. I spent the entire day like working on the entire morning and afternoon working on the website because I had a meeting at 5:15 where I'd have to like show progress. So I was like, fuck, I don't know if this is enough progress. So like I did as much as I could, and I was like, okay, this should be enough progress. So I frantically ate, and I was like, oh no, I actually need to get on like right now. So I was trying to do it, and then I don't remember why, but I needed to check my email for something. So I did, and he said actually I can't hold class right now. So I was like, for fuck's sake, the entire day wasted. But I got on with the boys for a bit, which was the only good part of that. At least I got to spend the birthday with the boys. But then afterward, like I got off, and it fully hit me that I'm 21 now, and I went through like a whole like crisis there. So yeah, I am 21 now. That's crazy. Anyway, how are you doing, Greg?
Yeah, that is really too bad that you're not here, because like 21 is supposed to be one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have held. I guess we could just call the Vancouver like an early celebration of that, but
We didn't even get the chance to get wasted. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I wanted to, but I was like, I don't want to walk around in a city I don't know wasted.
Yeah.
Like, we did it at Dash's place. I was down, but I was like, I don't, because if I fight someone, I'm gonna fight someone.
at the karaoke place.
Yeah.
He's just like,
emulating the stock footage on the karaoke.
Yeah.
No, the guy's just like trying to explain the Korean letters to us, and Harry's like, I'm gonna fucking be. He's like, whoa.
Explain again.
You're the one who reserved the Korean place. It's not my fault.
That's true.
They also just like barely gave us water. Like,
that's the big, I hate it.
I don't understand what was the point of giving us a small thing of water, so we would ask them like almost every 5 minutes for.
Because we kept ringing the little thing.
Because it's like that's all we wanted, and you're singing.
I feel like that should be something they're really on top of, considering
that's
karaoke.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Surely you should just have like large water. Like what do you call them? Like the
pitchers,
the dispensers.
Yeah,
like,
just get the water jugs. Yeah,
each machine. Yeah, like the big ones. Yeah.
Like I don't understand the point. Like I don't know if the incentive to try and get other drinks or something, but it's like it wasn't working.
No. I guess it's just a Korean thing. They all use that pitcher.
It's cute, but it's so small.
It's so tiny. It's barely enough for one person, let alone 5.
The pitcher at the Korean karaoke place we went to was the exact same one as the Korean restaurant we went to. So either that's just like a Korean thing, or that's like a Vancouver Korean thing. I don't know.
Or a crazy coincidence.
Yeah, or just an insane coincidence.
They all just went to the same sale, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is a fantastic deal."
My week has been pretty usual. I've had a few more lessons this week just because people are starting to stack up as the auditions are getting closer. And it's just like, I think most of my students are woefully unprepared, but
you should tell the story about the requirements, Greg.
They kind of put themselves in that situation. So yeah, I was telling Adash yesterday is like the situation for the vast majority of students, for younger students, is always like the younger kids aren't actually the ones that want to play the instrument. It's their parents that are kind of forcing them to.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is when it comes to things like this, like auditions, when it comes to like the audition requirements, their parents are the ones that care about the auditions, but their parents are like old Asian people who they're not that old, but they're Asian. Like,
I mean, they're like
technologically inept.
So
Asian
people.
they're
they don't know how to work with technology at all. Even when they're like reading the emails sent by like the staff and stuff, they like don't fully understand it. So they're not on top of that. So the people who should be on top of that, the ones actually auditioning, the students, don't actually care. They don't actually look it up. Yeah, even though they have the capabilities to do so. So I asked my students, and I'm just like, oh, what scales do you need to play for the audition? And they're like, I think it's C. And I'm like, what do you mean you think it? There's like 2 weeks left until the audition. You should have them like fully learned by now.
Bro, I remember we had to crunching scales right before an audition to get them perfect.
Yeah.
Your mom would go listen to him.
So the orchestra, the Charlotte Orchestra, now there's 2, but back then there only used to be 1 division, or there used to be 1 orchestra, and it would split into 2 divisions, the senior and the junior. Now there's 2 different orchestras, each with 2 divisions. Well, one of them has like 4 divisions, but anyway, it's crazy now. But back then, in the simpler times, there was just JYO, the Junior Youth Orchestra, and the Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra. I also kind of just doxed where we are at. But, Charlotte's big, who cares? But
it's big enough. I'm almost 1 million people.
Yeah. You're not gonna find us.
Don't challenge them. They can't. Please don't.
You might find Harry. You won't find Adash.
That's true, but we've also mentioned
that you're in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Vancouver's really big. So
I'm the hardest one to find. Nobody's ever gonna be able to find me. I'm just like in the middle of nowhere.
True.
Anyway, so Charlotte, so Charlotte has those 2 orchestras that they used to have, the junior and the senior, and my mom's students made up at least 30 to 50% of the violins for like 5 years straight. Even now, I think it's still true. So probably for the last like 10 years of the youth orchestras, and probably longer actually, my mom's students have basically swamped them. Because just like my mom is the one with by far the most students and by far the most successful students, so it's like her students consist of like all the violinists in those orchestras, a lot of them at least. So back then during audition season, like my mom would bring our van over and we would just camp outside the audition building, and then just all of her students would be there practicing. So it was just like the faction, like the Miss Pan faction, like 10, 15, 20 students all by the car, all like with refreshments and all practicing while like all the other students were on the inside, like practicing in the practice rooms. It was pretty funny.
The elites versus the peasants.
I mean, that is kind of how it ended up, though, because usually the first chairs for both violins would be my mom's students. So, yeah, we kind of dominated the orchestra during that time period. But even now, like my mom's students are still like the top violinists, and not the other split off orchestra anymore, because the student that was the top student for that one is now in college. So yeah, and none of her other students go to that orchestra. So anyway, it's just
so that orchestra's dog shit now.
I don't understand why she is so hell bent on like working so much. It's not about the money; it's about the reputation.
It's about the pride.
Yeah, it's the flex, bro. You go, who's the most dominant? You know,
in the front row,
in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And you're like, hey, which
kind of
teacher does that kid in the first seat go to? It's like, oh, this teacher. It's like, what about the other one in the front seat? Also same one.
Yeah,
it's like, what about? And it's like just all of them, bro.
You look at the program and it's like looking at like what teacher each one has, and it's just like violet pen, violet pen, violet pen.
Can you imagine like one of the other students from a different teacher was like, maybe I should go to her.
Yeah. So the way the orchestra split happened is the old conductor of the orchestras that I and my sister and like all my mom's older students used to be a part of, he's not an actual conductor technically. He's one of the lower ranked violinists in the Charlotte Orchestra. I don't remember exactly where he sits, but it's not super high up. Like he's definitely, you can't really see him if you're sitting in the audience. So he controlled the youth orchestras for a really long time. And then at some point, because like recently, because Charlotte has been getting so developed, the orchestra has actually been getting pretty upgraded. Like they're getting younger musicians. Like if you went to a Charlotte Symphony Orchestra concert 10 years ago, you would think that you were in like a senior home. Like no offense, but like every single musician was like very old. Nowadays it's like half of the musicians are actually pretty young. So like the orchestra's been getting better and better, and they got a new conductor. So as they were doing that, they were like, we should make our youth orchestras better as well. So basically they fired him, the old conductor, because they're like, he's not a conductor, he's just the dude who was willing to do the job. So they found an actual assistant conductor that could actually like do that job like much better to control the orchestras. But the guy who got fired was not happy about that, and he was pretty egoed about it. So basically he started his own orchestra.
Can you imagine not being an actual conductor, getting booted and be like, damn,
that's crazy.
That's some shit.
Because he was getting like extra money and stuff from it. So I think that's probably part of why he didn't want to let go of it. But like from what I understand, the people who do go to that orchestra, it's usually either scheduling, but that's very rare. That's like only a few students can't come on the normal schedule for the other orchestra. Most of the students have some sort of connection with that person, which is why they're part of that orchestra. But because of that, like that orchestra is like the standards for getting in are much lower than the other orchestra, because it's like they constantly need more people to join. So yeah, I just remember just like hearing the news of this and just being like, wow, orchestra drama. It's crazy. But yeah, so that I have like I think all my students actually are either trying out for the senior division or the junior division. All the ones trying out for the junior division are completely not ready, and I don't have high hopes for them. The two students I have that are trying out for the senior division are both like very diligent, so I'm sure they'll do very good. All right, let's get into the ranking. The way we're going to do this is I'm just going to name each episode, and then we're just going to discuss what we ranked. Okay. And then why, and then let's just keep going in the order of Dash, Harry, and then me. We'll just loop it like that.
Okay.
Okay. So the first episode, Physical Pain. What did you rank that?
I am finding it now. B tier.
I put it A tier.
I also put it A tier. So I guess we put that in A tier.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your reason for B tier?
I just think like the middle parts got a little too fragmented at times.
It was our first.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is why
I
I was
think
like,
it was a pretty good first one.
Yeah, I think it was good because I actually thought it was the opposite. Like, yeah, there were definitely some parts where it got fragmented, but I think compared to a lot of our other podcasts, it was actually one of the more cohesive ones because we each had stories prepared, and then we just took turns, and then there weren't too many interruptions in the stories. So I think it worked pretty well, and the stories were pretty interesting too. So
Yeah, I
think it was a good start.
Of like the
and they were
first
interesting.
couple, it was our
Yeah.
best because like I think the second and
Definitely,
third
yeah.
until we went to the fourth, the second and third one were kind of like sloppy in terms of
Yeah,
our, the
coordination.
speech. Yeah, the coordination
Yeah.
wasn't all the way there. And we're like, well, and then we realized it's like, hey, we're fucking eating each other's ass all at once. Spit it all out.
Yeah, in terms of conversation and stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
your point, but not the way you said it.
That's what you sound like.
That's fair.
True.
I'll take that. That's on me.
Is that the first instance of that bit in this podcast? If
I
so,
think
that
so.
is
No
insane
way.
because
I
we
think
do that
so.
bit so much off podcast.
And
I
I
think
can't
we're just
believe
normally more
I can't
respectful
believe
on podcast.
I can't believe
Yeah,
Harry actually did it right too. His first time on.
Suck my dick,
That's
you fucking
crazy.
little twat.
Oh no!
I hope you
Now
wake
we've
up and
opened the
stub your
gates.
pinky toe.
Harry's curses are always stubbing a toe. I've realized.
Yeah.
Have you like stubbed a toe recently, and you're just trying to get other people down that same hole?
No, I haven't actually.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think
Next
we
time
averaged
Harry
that
comes
to
on, it's
A.
like, I hope you wake up and you just have a sudden blurry vision.
Oh no! Please no!
I hope
My
you walk
eyes.
around at school and your knee never stops hurting.
Damn, that's tough.
Harry's like, welcome to my life.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think especially just the contrast from our unbroadcasted pilot episode
Yeah.
to the
Okay,
episode
yeah.
one. Like
The
it was such
difference
a
was
huge and
so
massive.
much better.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
so we'll
Benea
put
on that
that
at
in.
least. She did
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah, we had good
we
feedback.
needed to
Yeah.
change a
Yeah.
decent amount.
All right. Episode 2 is Do We Have ADHD?
Yeah,
what did you
okay,
rate this
so I
one?
put this B tier. I also want to point out, we owe your sister a lot of money according to her comment. If it's $10 per
for every
use
time
of
we
it-
mentioned her in the ADHD
Yeah.
episode.
Wait, really? That was
She commented that.
Yeah, she was like $10 every time you use my name. I don't know if that was just that episode, but if not, we owe her a lot of money.
all right.
Well,
I
it
also
was just
put
for that
B tier.
episode because I had a whole segment where I went off on how I think that she has ADHD.
Why she want $10 for every time her name is said?
and how like me thinking she had ADHD made me realize that I didn't have ADHD because I was like the way that like I see her like get distracted sometimes I'm like that's never happened to me before. It's never like I've never had my attention grabbed by something like unintentionally. At least not like in that way.
Yeah.
Obviously like if it's like something huge or like
my
intentional like a
ass.
movie. All right, moving on to episode. Just kidding. Harry, what did you rate?
I did B tier
ADHD?
as well.
Okay, I rated it A tier just because I thought the conversation was like pretty good on that.
Yeah.
Because I was listening back to it and I was like, even though it was definitely less cohesive than the first episode, I think the discussion we had, like, we didn't just stay on one topic. We actually touched on quite a few things that I thought were quite interesting.
I thought it was
Okay.
pretty
Good to talk
hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah, I enjoyed it. I would put it in A, but I'm totally cool with putting it in B because
Yeah.
it wasn't like a god episode or anything.
Yeah.
It was just I thought.
I
kinda
think
good to
this
start.
this might be a trend.
We'll put it in B.
But I was like, a lot of these, not it's not a trend. It is a trend for me. A lot of these I kind of rated as how memorable were they to me. Like
That's
I went
fair,
through
yeah.
and I was like, I know I listened to the topic. Like, yeah, we like all of them. I think we had some good conversations, but how many of them
Right.
do I actually still remember?
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the-
yeah.
they're like if I can still remember it, I think it's higher up there. And
Yeah.
if it's like one of the ones not even like if it was sloppy or whatever, it's just like if it was just kind of meh in my opinion.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, the bias just probably comes from is a little self-centered, but for me, it's like what I remember of my portion of the because some of them I'm like, oh, I hated what I did in that one, so I rated it pretty low.
Yeah. I
like
mean, that's
maybe
fair.
you guys had some really good bits, but I was just like, oh, I did not like what I did in that episode.
It's
so
in general, I kind of went more down Harry's route. I was just like, whichever podcasts had like the moments that I still remember that were like hilarious. Basically, I'm just looking at it and going like, which ones have the most clip value? It's like if
which ones would I rewatch and and still get a kick out of?
Let's go to 3. So 3 was the gaming.
Oh, but before we do that,
gaming.
Greg, are you keeping track of these and like, putting them in, or should I can do that?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay,
I am. Yeah.
Oh,
when he said that, I was like, oh, I haven't been.
click
And then I was
all
like,
over
wait,
the
no, I
file.
have been. I actually have been. I totally somehow forgot that I was literally keeping track of it. I keep track. Okay, so gaming. Dash, what did you rate this one?
I'm not going to lie. Like, so I've already just explained my criteria, right? Based on that criteria, C tier, because I don't remember much. Like, even when I rewatched it, I was just like, this is a more just for us. But, like, as a podcast, it's like, eh.
What did you rate it, Harry?
I did also C tier because it was.
I'm gonna argue for D tier. I think we should put it in D because I put it in
worse.
D.
Oh wow!
And the problem is like, okay, first of all, this is by far, I believe, our longest episode.
Is it?
And if you actually go back and listen to our conversations, it's like we had like a total of like 40-minute of.
It's actually our second longest.
The rest of the hour and a half of talking is just like people going on super long tangents about games that just like nobody like.
I'm fine.
I think
with
that one was the one we really like derailed on. And fucking
I think it was way too long. It was not very organized. There was just like so many tangents. There was a lot of interrupting in that one too, I think.
Yeah.
So I consider that like one of our worst episodes in my opinion.
That's fair.
Are you cool with putting it in D?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. Next one, we used artificial intelligence as therapy. That was the AI stories one.
I put this in A, I think. Let me No, I put this in S actually.
Oh damn.
Okay.
I really like this one.
Would you put this one in?
I put A tier. I didn't like my story as much, but I remember your guys' stories were pretty good. So
I also put in A for the exact same reason as I think Adash had the best story by far. I don't remember enjoying my story that much. Like it had moments. I actually enjoyed Harry's story. Moments of like there were definitely parts where it was just like holy shit, it's still going.
It kind of jotted out. But
but there were also a few moments that were hilarious. I will never forget the re-entrance, like the re-entering that made me laugh so hard. Like that was so funny.
He just came back. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just re-entered the room and was like, "I'm here."
It's like, what? I'm back from round 2, bitches.
Well, Adil was pretty good, but I'm happy with A tier.
Adil was your story was so funny. I was laughing so hard. I'm honestly down.
So
to put
I'm not
either.
Indian.
No, actually, no. I am rooting for S tier on this because the concept. The concept was great.
So funny.
And like I think we just had fun with it. Like I really think
and I think that was our first like standout episode where we were like, oh yeah, this one was actually funny.
Because it was something I wasn't used to thinking about something like that. It was
exactly.
very abstract.
But it was fun because you didn't have to try too hard to like come up with things.
If there were any episodes that I would go back and listen to, I think that's one of them.
Yeah.
Because I do want to listen to the stories again because I don't fully remember them, but I do remember laughing really hard at both of yours.
So I'm not Indian is crazy. That was
I remember was so weirdly cohesive.
I remember when
like
I generated that,
such a good plot line,
and I was like, "What? Why did it say that?"
Like that's why I was less happy with mine because mine kept like going off topic and like switching directions, but yours was like so cohesive the whole time. I was like, God damn, like just some random people just like force adopted you, kidnapped,
like,
adopted
this is
you,
my family
and
now.
then kept you in their home, and it was just the story of that. It was so good.
All right.
Okay, episode 5 is the $20 billion one.
Yeah. So I this one I think we'll have polarizing opinions. So I said out of all the I rate clip value a lot, and this one had this one was like a lot of dull moments followed by a lot of really funny ones. It's like really funny moment, dull space, really funny moment. But for me, it mattered a lot, so I put it S tier. But I understand I'm probably alone on this.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going as far as S tier, but I put it A tier because
That's fair.
ammo
I
is
put it-
ammo.
Yeah.
I put it B tier.
I'd settle on A
Just
tier.
From what we can settle on A tier, but from what I remember, because actually I was wrong. This was our longest episode.
Yeah, I was gonna
this
say,
one went for
yeah.
2 hours and 15 minutes. So it's like I think there were definitely some really good moments in this one, but I think those good moments were limited to like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And I think there was just so much time that like a normal listener would just have to sit and slog
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, we
us
had
talking about
to-
the details of like the economics of like
The bullshit.
the random things that we decided to purchase. So
Yeah,
There
I
were
think the biggest
very
thing we did
clip-worthy
wrong
moments,
is we
though.
went a little too detailed on it. Like if
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah,
redo it
yeah.
in hindsight, what I would have done
probably
is
also not 20 billion
yeah.
because there were just so much stuff we had to buy that it
Yeah.
ended up being a lot.
I
But
would have maybe lower it, but I think the main thing is just do rough estimates and then only do the things that are a lot of money and just like talk about it.
Yeah,
I think that would have made it better.
Yeah.
and probably like probably we would have added a rule of like things that are like no-brainers we don't really have to talk about unless it's like specifically something interesting about that thing, because like we
Yeah.
talked about like all the money that we would like give to friends and like houses. It's like
Yeah, the housing
we
and
would
shit and
do
stuff
that, but
was,
it's
like-
not necessarily
Yeah.
that interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have skipped over that. It would
Yeah,
just been
yeah.
like, yeah, we all would have done that because we're not assholes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
All right, but yeah,
I think it was a learning
it's
curve.
fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an episode with some really good moments, and we did learn a lot from it. It's just
Yeah.
kind of slogged on. Okay, next episode. I'm interested to hear some opinions with this one. Surviving Harry with Benea Bartlett.
So I really enjoyed it. I put it an A. Wait,
Okay.
did I? Episode 6 was my A tier because I just thought it was pretty, like we had some pretty funny moments in there. So yeah, that's all. It's just I'd say A.
Okay. I had it as B tier. It was not as
Oh.
memorable to me, and I mean, I just remember sitting there looking at Benea a whole lot. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, Harry wasn't very involved to be fair.
Oh, Harry
That-
barely talked in that episode.
yeah.
So I rated this C actually, because I'm somewhat biased on this because I have expressed other people's opinions on this episode, so I'm sort of looking at it a little bit through that view. But just like in hindsight, I think when it comes to staying cohesive and not interrupting each other, this probably was our worst episode.
Yeah.
Because it was just so uncohesive, like just constant like interrupting and just like
That's true,
talking over
actually.
each other, and we barely, it's 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I think we got to the topic at like 50 minutes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually,
'Cause there was like a whole
that
30
alone
minute
has to
segment
bump
where
it
we
down to
just
B
talked
tier.
just talked about the ADHD episode. So-
that alone has to bump it down to B tier.
Benea wanted to say her piece, so
Yeah. Nothing against Benea. I mean, I think she made the dynamic. Whenever Benea joins us, she always makes the dynamic like really crazy, funny, like silly.
Yeah.
Like, we go pretty silly when Benea joins our dynamic. So I think we can definitely have her as a guest again and probably do better. But I think that
Yeah.
episode specifically was kind of a little all over the place.
It was
didn't work as
truly
well as it could.
derailed. Yeah.
Yeah. We can put it in B.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that still stays in C for me, but I can definitely see it in B. Okay, episode 7 is parenting.
Now, see, this is the episode I had the hardest time placing. I said
this one
C,
is-
but I could be convinced to go higher.
Yeah.
I said C.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I have very different opinions than you guys, apparently. I actually put this at A. Because I think when it comes to like the more serious discussion ones that we've had, I do think this was one of our better ones. In terms of like, I will say, like looking back on it more now, we definitely spent a lot of time waffling at the beginning. I think the conversation got a lot better towards the end because we had some pretty intense debates on this one. I remember.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think they were very interesting debates. I mean, to be fair, it's hard to judge that from a third party standpoint.
Yeah.
I'd actually be way more interested to hear what like somebody else would think of this
Yeah.
episode. Because
That's
I think
true.
it could go very either way. Like I could definitely see this at like a C, or I could actually see this at like a A, or even like a S if someone was super interested in what we were talking about. So I actually don't know. But
I just
I'll go
don't
with you
think
guys
there were
on this
any
one. We
good
can go C, but-
moments,
It-
like
it
any
was-
standout.
it wasn't
in
a-
terms of funny,
Yeah,
there
it wasn't
were
a
definitely
bad
none.
episode, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but
for
I
me,
think in
I
terms
wouldn't
of
watch
discussion,
it again. It's not
yeah.
entertaining to me.
Yeah. But I think in terms of like discussion, it was definitely one of
Yeah.
our more interesting ones. But all right, are we thinking B or C? I'm cool with either. But I
I'd
did
say
put it in
C,
A,
to be
so-
honest.
Okay.
Okay, we can go C. Okay, episode 8. Oh no.
B.
This is backwards innovation with Summer.
I have this one as D.
Okay.
I also have this one as D because
Oh,
I
yeah.
really think, like, once again, this is nothing wrong with the guest, but it's just so many things just didn't go super well in this episode.
The fact that
aligns
Summer
with it.
just never got audio through.
Oh, that's
that was a big
I haven't
problem.
listened
if you
to the
listen that
episode.
one- okay, if you listen to that one, the audio just like didn't work. So
Oh.
from a technical standpoint, this is easily our worst one.
in that
but
case,
even ignoring
yeah.
the technical stuff, I very distinctly remember after this episode feeling like Harry was gonna have to do a lot of editing because we had so many awkward silences. I feel like we would like name
This one,
like
yeah, I
our
think-
thing for the innovation, and then just nobody would add anything for like
Yeah.
10 seconds, and then I'd just be like, okay, Harry, like that happened so
Yeah.
many times where I, was
think
like, no
this
one's
one was
like
the
adding
one-
anything to the previous ones.
Summer's audio was fucked because we didn't double check because she was using speakers on
Yeah.
a fucking.
And she kept
Yeah,
cutting
right.
out
Insert
on
mic.
Discord, which made
Yeah,
it
that
harder
was
to
And
happening
so
too.
carry
we
a
had
conversation.
luckily
That-
I had the backup
yeah.
audio, and so the
Yeah.
backup was a
That-
Discord
yeah,
audio,
so we had to use
but a
the
Discord was
backup,
constantly cut
and
out.
it was just like, yeah,
And
it
because
just
of
was
that,
not great.
I think I had to listen through the whole. This one took me like I think 3 hours, 3-4 hours, because I had to
Yeah,
listen through the
yeah.
whole thing and kept cutting certain
I think,
sections
like-
to make it more cohesive.
Also, this is one of those topics that is like, in hindsight, it wasn't that great of a topic. Like the idea of it is
Yeah.
cool, and if it was refined more, it could have been really good. But I think the problem
Yeah.
is because it was so open ended, we all just ended up going with environmental shit for the
Yeah.
entire
And
time.
we
it was all
had
just
so
like
much of the same
asbestos
shit,
and all the
too.
other things, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
yeah.
think we were the wrong crowd probably
Maybe.
to do this.
Like just like looking at it at a standpoint of all of our episodes, I think this is one of the ones that is like the least interesting, and also especially with the technical aspect, I think I have to put it at D because it's just like
Yeah,
one of
fair
our
enough.
worst episodes
Fair enough.
because of that. Yeah. Okay. Next one is I feel bad because like both of the guests episodes I rated really low, but it's not because of the
Yeah.
guests. It's just the timing just did not line up well.
We
with
should
Yeah.
have we
those
should have
episodes not
waited
being good.
until we were more established.
More, yeah,
Yeah.
because then we could have been like, okay, this topic is great, but we need to add some guidelines so it isn't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because that's what we started doing on the latter half of this is we
Yep.
started adding a lot more guidelines to stuff, and that
Yeah,
helped so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. Next episode is Truth and Lies with the Guys.
So
This was the-
I will actually argue this. I put this 9.
Oh.
I put this A, and I'm sticking with it.
Oh.
Um,
damn.
really?
Because it was
Really?
funny as fuck. I actually ended up listening to like 30 minutes just even
Damn.
like I was just like, you know, looping through some of the podcasts just to like refresh them. I just got stuck on this for 30 minutes. I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
I probably should have re-listened because I put
I
this
should
at
have too.
D.
What?
God.
Because I was thinking back, I was like, I don't remember anything memorable from this episode.
I put it at C, but it was a very unsteady C because remember I
wow.
had 4 categories originally, so I did originally put it at B. But yeah, I just
Okay.
also didn't remember anything specific from this
Okay,
episode.
yeah, this one wasn't very memorable, but actually listening, like I to be fair, that's why I went back and listened to it because I was like, I don't remember much. So I was expecting to put it like
I don't
C,
remember
but
too much
it's
from it.
hilarious. Like the once we get to the
Okay.
actual topic section, it's like, and we stayed on the topic, like we didn't derail too hard. And it was fucking funny. Like,
It is one of our shortest episodes, so
Yeah.
in terms
Yeah.
of promptness, it's
So
definitely one
I just
of our better
remembered like
ones.
the prompts we ran through so quickly.
Yeah, I do remember like a lot
yeah,
of them.
but
I
like
just kinda
you
okay,
gotta
let's
listen
move
to
on.
it's hilarious, bro.
I do remember. I mean, I don't not remember any. Like, I do remember a few of them that I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty funny. I remember I kept fucking up on thinking like which ones were lies and which ones were like from different people. I was so bad.
Yeah,
at
you were.
that. I'm willing to put it up to B. I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
that's
put
fire.
it with the other ones.
I don't
had
know
in
if
A.
I could put an A. Because,
Yeah.
But
But
I
it's
don't
true
mind
that I don't remember much about this
Yeah.
one, so I can't really argue against you for it
Yeah.
being funny. So, all right, 10. Something about ruling a nation. This one I'm
one's
interested.
D tier.
too.
Move on.
D tier.
I put this in C tier, so yeah, I'm down. For
This
D
one
tier,
I was
yeah.
like, bro.
This
Looking back at my
this was
notes, I was like,
definitely-
we sweated so
partially
hard
my
on
fault.
this
This
bullshit.
is this
Yeah,
is
because
the worst one, and I learned.
It was too technical,
Yeah.
I think, on your guys' point, and then on my point, I just got way too into the like one story thing, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
that good. So it just wasn't good. Yeah,
The story was pretty interesting.
it was as I was writing it. I
Greg
was like,
in
this is
another life
definitely
would have been a
not
writer.
The type of
for
story.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll put that in D.
All right. This one.
That's another. I want to add that that's another one that I think with more refinement in the topic we could have made a lot better. It was just like so open ended that we all ended up doing kind of different things ish. Like even you and Harry did sort of different things with how you planned it out. So it just kind of was hard to discuss because we had such different versions.
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 11 is the good, the bad, and the dirty.
This one for me is C tier for the same reason episode 9 was C tier for you guys. I just don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one I put D tier because I was like, this was. I think this was a lot of D tier.
How many D tiers do you have?
Harry keeps rating his own topics D tier.
Because I was like, this one, I was like, I thinking back, I was like, this really wasn't great. I feel like.
I rated this B tier. I actually remember enjoying this episode. There were some parts of it that definitely dragged on, but I think there were some highlight stories.
I think there's like, I didn't like. I think. Oh, I guess it's more. I didn't like the topics I had to talk about. Some of the things.
That's fair.
Mainly,
fair.
I think that was the bad.
This one is definitely too long for what it is, so I think I'm willing to drop it down to a C because of that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Next one's also fucking easy as shit. Come on.
Yeah, I think this one's a pretty quick. Yeah. Episode 12 is the eulogies. It's called "We're All Dead." I think we all had a lot of fun with that one.
That's the.
Bro, I don't care what anyone says. Bro, our eulogies banger.
that is our.
They were all like I know you guys really liked the eulogy I made for that one, but honestly I thought we all kind of hit it out of the park because like Adash is like I did rewatch that episode and I was just I find myself just like I think Adash's as an actual eulogy was by far the best. Like you could actually use that as a eulogy. And then Harry's was just some sort of weird trip, acid trip. Like it was funny, but like for the wrong reasons.
Oh man,
I was like, I don't know how to write a eulogy, so let me just write.
That one was interesting, but yeah,
Harry's stuttering finally came into play in that episode.
I'm so glad Harry went first.
You never had that issue
because it made my eulogy for Harry 10 times better.
yeah.
All right.
I think that's our shortest episode too.
That is, and that's our piece de resistance for sure.
Yeah. All right. Episode
our best work.
Is the sleep episode
13? Where did I put this? B tier.
Fucking D tier because of the Dash going sleep.
The gaslighting.
I'm just kidding.
That's why it's B tier at least.
Hey, we finally have one that we agree on that is S and D tier. Yeah, I also put that B tier. Yeah. It's like there were some good moments and some good discussion. There was good discussion there because we got to. A bit. I really liked where we got to sync up with the whole like we all tell stories.
Yeah.
Because that was a pretty cool realization because I knew nothing about that for you guys. So like learning that was like, oh damn, that's cool that we all do that.
Bro, I had a slight panic. Just gonna interject. A slight panic. I saw it was 10:15. I was like, shit, I gotta go to sleep for work. And I was like, I don't got work tomorrow.
Nice. So I think that's a unanimous B tier. Okay, cool. Episode 14 is Free Your Mind.
I think also B tier.
I put this A tier.
Oh.
I also put this B tier.
I think
the Harry NPC bit was really funny.
I think it was because of that. Even though I was like, fuck. God damn it. But it was
that specific moment is hilarious.
The only reason I put it in B instead of A, because it's like, that moment was very memorable. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, 1 hour and 40 minutes. What else did we talk about? All I remember is the NPC moment.
That's true. But like,
I don't remember
also...
I don't remember it being awkward, so I didn't put it anywhere under B. Like I think we had pretty good conversation, but just not any that was like super memorable.
It was also, I think, a big like. I think because I've never talked to anyone else about that kind of like my mental
the like not thinking about stuff like
because it's like I can't really just go in conversation when we're playing Rocket like
okay,
guys,
like,
I just don't think anymore.
I mean you actually could. That used to be what all our late night threes was.
That's true, but we don't have late night threes anymore because I have work. Or we have we all have two of us have work and Greg is flip floppity with work and work.
Yeah.
Or teaching and doing other work.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I think our old late night Rocket League threes were like, it was like half of the time just randomly deep shit, and then the other half of the time it was just we were all
just
high.
noises.
Like we were all just so dumb.
We were just screaming,
Just going,
bro. Those moments will always be up there in S tier for me. I loved our late
Yeah,
night
no, it was definitely a good time. I mean, that was like my salvation at Governor School.
Yeah, those were great times, but it's like I don't know if we ever get the chance to do them again.
No.
I will always. I mean, if I continue working this job, I won't be fucking having any time late night like that.
Yeah, late nights. Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because late nights, the like when your mental is like drained and you're still just autopiloting, you just say the most crazy random shit.
It's also just easier to find things funny because your brain's just so tired.
Oh yeah, you're tired. Yeah, so it's just
realistically, we only
giggly.
get 2 days. We'd get Friday and Saturday. If I wasn't busy.
Yeah.
On Saturday, we'd get...
Yo, I just noticed episode 7 and 8 have the same exact time.
Wait, really?
What?
1 hour, 40 minutes, 30
Oh, that's
seconds.
crazy. Whoa.
Holy
that's
shit.
pretty nutty.
That's
actually
pretty
insane.
Crazy.
140.32.
Oh my god.
Wait, they have the same amount of views, too. Whoa.
Yeah, what the hell?
That's
both
pretty
have 9.
whack.
I actually forgot to mention this. I think it's criminal that episode 9 has the lowest views. I think it's one of our best ones. It's big sad.
Actually, yeah, 8 is
It's
probably
not bad.
the lowest one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't know who be finding this shit.
Yeah, honestly,
algorithm.
like, who's just randomly clicking this?
Yeah.
Okay, next is episode 15, which is
here.
Am I the
Yeah.
Asshole, the fictional
Well,
edition.
okay. I honestly, for me, this was like C pushing B tier, but the fact that it's our best performance, it's our only episode with 100 views or triple digit views, and the fact that somebody else said good cast, boys. I mean, come on, it's gotta be our best cast.
Well, we did determine that Adash does work with external validations. Harry, what did you put this one at?
So, very contrast to Dash. I put it D tier.
Oh my god!
Wait, that's not that contrasting. He said C.
Oh, he said
Yeah,
C.
leading
Oh,
towards
I thought
B.
you said
Yeah,
A.
yeah.
Well,
No, he said C.
I said personally for me it's C pushing
Yeah,
B.
it would be C, but it
Yeah.
pushes up because of that. Yeah.
Because I was just like, the stories weren't bad, but they weren't entertaining like some of the other ones.
No, that's true. We that's why it's C, for me personally. It's C. We just
it
say
was rough
stories.
Wow, I actually rated this S.
Really?
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Mine was C.
No.
Because this was one that like I procrastinate on a lot of the episodes. I think we all do.
yeah.
This
And just,
one we fucking
second,
last
like,
minute
This
put
one,
together.
yeah, this one we were literally filling in like on Discord, like silently,
Right
like,
before we fucking
and it's
recorded.
like this wasn't. So I did this with the eulogy too, but the eulogy one was like as I was writing it, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
But this one I was writing and I was like,
No,
this
same.
is just the best I can do.
Yeah.
Wait, was-
I just can't find anything else.
Was this one right
And,
before Vancouver?
Yes.
No, right after, because the
Oh.
whole point was that we took the break because we pre-recorded.
Yep,
so
yep.
I
So
was
this
like,
is one
oh,
of the
we're
ones
gonna
we had
have.
to like shove out.
I was like,
Yeah, that's
we're
why-
gonna
that's
have.
why,
Yeah, I was like, we're
yeah.
gonna have like 3 weeks to come up with things for this. It's gonna be great, and then it's like, we just
Okay,
didn't
No,
but
come
bro.
up with
I
anything.
will say-
we gotta get to do shit, and like after
Yeah,
Vancouver,
yeah.
so
we,
tired.
We were busy. Yeah,
I
we
will
were
say
busy,
though,
yeah.
genuinely, I don't. The issue with this topic is I don't think any amount of time could make me write a better version for this. I just don't know how I could make this funny. Which is like
it's difficult.
Yeah.
I think the main I think this topic can work, but not with us, because I think the main
Yeah,
issue with this,
wrong
from my
crowd.
point of view, was there were so many where I was like, oh man, Harry would find this so funny, but Adash doesn't know this story, and then like, oh, Adash would find this funny, but Harry doesn't. Like, they were, like we don't share that many fictional stories with each other.
Yep.
It's just like Percy Jackson, Avatar: The Last
because
Airbender.
like
Harry
actually, yeah,
Potter,
that's
that's
actually
it.
because I did an anime character, but it's only one that Greg knows.
Yeah, only I would understand.
And
yeah,
like
so it's
Adash
like-
did one, but the DBZ, you know, if you don't know DBZ, you're probably living under a rock, or you're like 3.
Yeah, I was like, just our pool of like stories we could take from is just too limited. So
Yeah,
it's just either really obvious or just like it was difficult.
Oblivious.
You know, I'm noticing a trend here. It's like there's so many topics we've had, right?
We all
like,
said C's.
Am I the Asshole Fictional Edition? The Innovations one, the $20 billion
where like
one.
the topic itself is like, yeah,
Yeah, well, it's like these topics. It's like when you say them out loud, even the Ruling a Nation one, it's like when you say them out loud, it seems like there's potential. But then we do them and like, in hindsight, this is
not the best topic.
Yeah, this is really restrictive.
Well, for us.
I think it's for us because just like I think other people who are more into these sort of things would be able to do a lot more with it.
Yeah.
But for us, we're just like, we don't have that much to do for fictional things. So and
fair.
like the other ones as well. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, we all agreed on that one. So, well, actually, Harry said D, but me and Ash said C. So I guess we just put in C, which is weird because that is the one that blew up.
And it's probably one of our, well, in my opinion, it's one of the lesser.
Yeah,
like, the actual topic discussion part was more meh, very meh.
Yeah. Okay, and then our most recent episode, Motivation and Growth, episode 16.
No, technically this one's
our most recent posted episode.
Yeah.
B?
Oh, people are to know.
Wait.
Recorded this before.
Okay, everybody pre-records everything. That's not that surprising of a thing. So technically our most recent is 17, but our most recent posted one, Motivation and Growth. What'd you say, Adesh?
B.
I did B as well.
I also did B. Wow, we really agreed on these last ones.
Yeah.
I think what you find with like our more recent episodes is like they're not like standout, but they're pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Like at least we haven't had any like I say that, but the most previous one was the C. But
but it also blew up. So hey.
Yeah. And that one was also short. So even though it sucked, at least it sucked for not a long time. Like no one had to like sit through it. So I think like we've been getting better. I think at like keeping things shorter and organizing things.
I think keep people more like general, not really general, but like stable topic that all three of us can come up with something to talk about.
So I think
so. Like, it's not it's not like anything special out of the ordinary, but like it's like our normal conversation with the topic.
I think like what I was gonna say is I think the A and the S's are like when we hit it out of the park with the bat. Like we're just like that one was good. It's like those are more like they will happen, but it's not like we can make sure
replicate
that happens.
Yeah.
So I think B is like a good like foundational. Okay, if most of our episodes are B, at least it's not like we have to sit through this. It's like okay, that was because I think the motivation one had was one of our other ones that had good discussion.
Good discussion,
yeah.
And it wasn't like incoherent. Like it was like we all had our ideas pretty laid out and like organized.
I think it was I think definitely a good mental one as
well. But obviously like it wasn't like super funny or anything because it was more of a serious
I was actually going to mention that as like the thing with this podcast is like we can't I wouldn't actually enjoy this if we aimed for S tier every time. Because like even if we've had like a lot of the ones end up being like episode 12 where it was like constantly laughing, like I do really enjoy personally like for doing it, I enjoy episodes like 16 and 14.
Yeah, like the deep ones.
It's
just
nice
to sit down and just talk about like, more deep shit sometimes.
Yeah.
So we don't get the chance to do that as often.
Yeah,
that's why I'll say it's really good that like you guys are here to balance because like my topics are always like let's do this funky gimmick this time, and it's like sometimes they fall flat like the Am I the Asshole, and sometimes they knock it out of the park. But it's like they're never serious.
Flat. 101 views. Calm down.
but I think like you guys have good like because like if anyone actually was listening to this podcast for the first time, my episodes are not going to help them like know who we are that well. They'll get a sense of our personality in terms of like humor and our dynamic, but they're not going to like know that much about us from any of the topics that I chose. So
I also think it's like as good as episode 12 is, it's not as funny if you actually don't know any of us. So it's really good for us, but that's why
it's important to have the foundational.
It is probably it's our best episode to us. And probably
our friends would also
But to everyone else,
there's a lot of inside jokes and stuff.
Like, what the fuck are they laughing at?
It is really good that we introduced the whole B thing in the first episode. Because if people didn't know about that, and I just went on that whole tangent about the bee, they'd just be like, what? Why is this so?
The fuck they talking about some bees?
No, after episode 10, I was like, I'm just going to leave the ideas to Greg, and I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, which is...
Harry, I will say Harry's story for episode 12 does not need that much foundational knowledge.
was no context to that story.
Yeah. I
don't
mean-
think having context helps at all for that story.
That one I was just like, all right, let me just write something that would be pretty hee hee ha ha and also like slightly morbid kind of.
It reminds me a little bit of those like notes that you write when you're at, or when you used to write
That
when
was
you were
low
at
key
work.
what I was kind of just doing. I was like, all right, fine,
Yeah.
just flow free, and I'll try to keep it consistent or coherent. And I just
There's absolutely no way. Like it's a really funny joke, but there is no way Harry is an NPC because when he's just free throwing like his ideas, like it's so unhinged. There's no NPC in the world that would ever be that unhinged.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's just like a RAM storage. It's just like if it's like an overflow, so it's like every time just random things need to be stored. They just go into Harry's brain, and so when you open it up.
No NPC in Genshin or New World ever called me a pussy boy. So.
That's fair.
At least not yet.
In your game, you gotta have like an NPC that specifically calls out. It's like, yeah, there's just one boy named Gregory. He's a bussy boy.
Okay, no.
I could just make Gregory into a card.
I would be
The
down for
pussy
that.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why did I bring this up? I
True.
fucked myself. All right, episode 17. That is our actual most recent episode.
So I put this
What was episode 17? again?
hobbies.
Hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hobbies and projects. That's what this one was.
So
yeah.
like, I think this was C because it was so fucking rushed and like it was just us listing out things again. We didn't actually talk about it, or we talked about the first few in a lot of detail, and then fucking breezed through the other ones in like 2 seconds. So
That's true.
we didn't pace it well.
That's true.
What'd you put it at, Harry?
So originally I had it as A, but I will drop it to B now because that's what based off attachment I think about it is like I enjoyed the intro topic talking about our past what's it called projects and
Skits
stuff,
and
but like
stuff, yeah.
that's also kind of more of
Nostalgia?
our us thing.
Like us reflecting.
Yeah, nostalgia.
thing,
Rather than like,
I also put it at B. I think like this was another one where like the topic was like a good topic, but we botched it a little
It's
bit
pacing.
in the organization.
Yeah.
Because we so I actually even remember, and it was funny because even as I was talking, I was like, oh fuck, but
getting a little
like
messy.
yeah. So it's like I remember like we started with the whole skit thing, and I distinctly like in my notes for that episode, I wasn't going to talk about the skits for that long, but as I was talking about them, I just felt the need to like give the context for them, because I was like,
So it
if
got
I just
drawn
stop it
out
here, it
more
would
and
feel
more.
very weird. So it just kept drawing out, and I was like, I want to end it, but I feel like if I end it here, it's just too abrupt. So I just kept going and going, and I was like, okay, like there's no way, because we talked about it at the end, but like I didn't actually talk about almost any of my actual past projects besides our skits, because I was just like, we spent like 40 minutes just talking about the skits.
Yeah.
There
that
was
is
like a lot
something
of
we still
through
have to
lines that I
work
had
on.
connected.
It's just
Yeah.
shortening stories. But at least you
cohesion and,
you were
just the ability
aware
to-
about it. I'm pretty sure if we
Yeah.
did it in the
Like,
beginning,
even as I was talking
you wouldn't have
about
even
it, I was like,
realized.
oh,
You would have
God.
just
Yeah.
kept going.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like sometimes like certain things you want to give a lot of context on, and then it's like, damn, there's this context. but
Turns
yeah,
out the
get
context.
context
You know,
to the
this
context.
is actually
Yeah.
this is great because like this is something that I like really had to face in our vlog and editing the
Oh
vlog.
my
Because
God.
what took the longest to edit was always the
Greg
discussion
was
portion.
complaining
so I was just
so
sitting
much.
there.
He was like,
Yeah,
"This is
yeah,
so
yeah.
much
Like-
extra."
Yeah.
You saw my
Filler.
Snapchat updates like constantly,
Yeah.
where I was like, "Oh, I'm 3 out or like 3 minutes into the thing," and then it was like progress, and then suddenly just get swamped with the discussion portions where I was so
Yeah.
indecisive about what to do, because like when we were telling the stories, it was just like there was so much context that we gave that just did not need to be there.
yeah.
And like if you watch our vlog now, you can see the escape room discussion part that I did end up leaving in, and it's like that part is already pretty long, and I think I did a decent job. I think it still drags.
Yeah,
on
it's
a
probably
little
about 20%
Um,
of how long we took to say the actual story.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's the
because
thing. It's
the
like-
first
it's like-
part is so golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes in the vlog right now. It was like 12 minutes minutes when I was
Yeah.
editing it, and that was after cuts. If I didn't do the cuts, it would have been like 30-40 minutes, and I was just like,
Yeah,
oh my
which
god,
kinda
why
sucks.
why did it take us so long? And then just like going through and trying to figure out what to cut and what not to cut, just all the information that I was like, wait, that person just said that, or like this is not something that anyone needs to know, or it's just like there's just so many parts where we just like all of us were just adding shit, except for Harry, but Harry was just staying silent the whole time. So.
Harry just did not
I
want the
mean, I didn't
story.
have anything to say really,
Yeah.
because y'all had all the reactions and everything.
I mean, that's the thing, though. I feel like we probably should have just let you tell the story because you were the one who did react to it. So I actually think your perspective would have been the most interesting because we all just kind of showed our perspectives. I think
Yeah.
Summer did a good job. Summer summarized everything that she saw in like 2 sentences.
true.
And I was like, oh, good job, Summer. Good job.
Good work, Summer.
But me, you, and Benea were passing the ball back and
That's
forth
true,
for
yeah.
so long. And I was like, oh, God. Okay, cool. So episode 17, are we putting it at B or C? Because me and Harry both said B. I'm kind of fine with either. I think I'm willing to bump it down to C just for how long it went. Like if it was like the trailing stories and it
It
wasn't
is
that long,
an
I think
hour,
B.
like what hour
But
40 minutes.
It was so long.
I think
It
the
just
only
was
way
like, oh.
this could have been an A tier if we just did either past and present or future.
Yeah,
Or past
Yeah.
or present
and we
and
made
future,
sure to like
but
keep the stories
I think
quick
yeah,
and prompt.
present and future probably would have been
Present
best.
and future
I don't
would
think
If
Yeah.
I had plans more, I would have been able to find specific highlights about like the skits and stuff, instead of just like explaining the entire history of it.
Yeah.
So, all right, episode 18. That's this. What are we rating this episode from our discussion so far?
Hey, it's been
think
short.
this has been pretty
punchy,
good.
B.
Yeah, I think
yeah, I was
this has
like,
been
it's a B. It's a fucking tier list. I'm putting it at B tier.
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I mean, tier lists are very common for podcasts, so I think this is one of our higher Bs. But yeah, I would say this could go in B. Episode 19.
That one we can't
Where
rate, right?
Well, we still
I rated.
rated
I
it.
predicted.
Wait, did
Did
we
we say
even
a
have a
lot during
topic?
the topic that we were gonna
No,
do 19 and
but
20?
we like 1920. We were just gonna predict.
Well, I'll just put B.
yeah.
Okay. So this is a Dash's final topic. So I put it as an A tier. So I was like, I
also put
have
it
high
as
hopes.
A.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I also put it as A. I'm hoping our penultimate episode will be good.
Yeah.
I'll try to do a little bit more preparation on my part and not procrastinate as much.
Wait, I'm really annoyed. I forgot. I know I wrote down my topic, but I don't remember where I wrote it down. How am I this stupid? What the fuck?
All right, we're putting it down to B.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Okay, and
And
We'll put it
episode
in A.
20.
I'm putting that.
I
at
put it as
A-
S, 'cause I have my
so
hopes up.
Oh yeah, I put it as
So
S
I
as
said
well.
A because I don't want to put my hopes too high up, but I would
So
honestly,
watch-
I was gonna
Watch
say
both of these last episodes. Just
Tank.
We're
Yeah.
just like, well, shit.
oh brother.
Well, I don't think S will have like the crazy ass, oh hee hee ha ha. But I think it'll be depending on how we take it. I think Greg's is going to have some deep shit, but also some goofy ass bullshit in it. I think it'll be it's going to be a more memorable episode,
No, I agree,
as
I
in like
agree.
I think, especially I mean mainly the way I'm taking.
Well,
it. I'll
I'm
probably do
hoping it's
mine
going to be meaningful and funny.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like super extreme for either. Well, it might be pretty meaningful, but I hope it's not just only meaningful, so that there's a little bit of
Yeah,
hardness.
I'm
in it.
expecting this to be more standout. Like
No depressing
episode.
letters, Harry. Just kidding.
it's
I was thinking back to this beginning of the episode when Greg was like, when we were talking about the bit, and Greg was like, I think we're just more respectful on podcasts. I was like, I don't know about that. But then Harry was struggling with the word memorable, and I was like, I didn't say anything there. And it's like, if we were off podcast, I absolutely would have. So you're correct.
No.
We are
No,
actually more
we're
respectful on
definitely
podcasts.
more. We're definitely more respectful on podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
We're at least less obscene about
That's
it.
true.
We still disrespect each other, but it's like it's more I don't know how you would describe it.
it's a more,
It's more
Tasteful.
like polite banter.
Yeah.
It's tasteful. Yeah, that's the one.
yeah, it's just outright asshole. Fucking
Yeah.
Oh man.
bear to
We
the
did
world.
gaslight Harry that one time, but
Bro, that was hilarious.
No, but the thing is, I was like, fuck off. So I was like, bro, he's doing this on purpose. No, he's not.
The setup on the reveal was quality. It's up there with the Greg setup on the Vancouver trip.
Because Harry was like, "You guys gotta be gaslighting me," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You're talking about the when I was awake.
Yeah. Guess who's still asleep right now?
Not me.
Not me.
Not me. That was so good.
The funny part about that is like in the vlog you see like where Summer started filming you as you walked in, but I was legit like playing the sleeper agent for like a good 10 minutes.
5-10 minutes. It was crazy.
Like there was a pretty long time where I just pretended to be asleep, and then you guys started vlogging, and I was like, oh wait, this is the perfect time. I've done that to Harry before, I think.
I don't know how you didn't get
I was
punched.
asleep.
Yeah.
Harry.
I was trying to
doesn't-
wake him up and I was messing with him, but then
Yeah. Remember that time you like poured water in my ear?
yeah, I think
was
your mom
weird.
told me to do that or something.
He like poured a little bit of water and then just started like putting his finger in it, and I was like, Harry, what the fuck are you doing? Like I was awake at this point, and I was just like, Harry, what is going on?
Bro, I was a strange kid.
This man was like wet willing me, but he like poured a little pool in there first.
I think it was also because back then it was like, what am I not allowed to fuck with? Like, how am I not allowed? Like, in what ways am I not allowed to fuck with Greg?
All right, we gotta getting back on topic though.
Out there.
Greg, how many S tiers did we have?
So we actually have 3 S tiers, 3 A tiers, and 3 D tiers.
Oh,
Sad.
Wait, that's 9.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
and
because
the
those
rest
were all
are
3.
B.
We have 4 C tiers and then 7 B.
I think that's really good.
So-
I think maintaining a B average is actually the best we can
Hey,
do.
but with 3.0 GPA.
Yeah.
Our B tiers are 2, 6, 9, 13, 14, 16, 13. So after episode 10, 4 of them were B.
Okay.
And then
I guess
3 of them
after
were B
episode 10, we
before
kind
that.
of figured out the consistent.
I think we got more
method.
consistent. Yeah.
Because I think aiming for A every time is just fucking like. First of all,
It's
it doesn't
kinda
make sense
hard.
because how can everything be above average when B is supposed to be average?
Yeah.
Actually, C's average.
Oh, true. Then we're punching above weight already.
Yeah.
Wait, between S, A, B, C, and D.
Oh, yeah, no, B would be
Should be
average,
B.
technically, out of
Yeah,
S, A,
yeah.
B,
B is in
C,
the middle.
D.
Yeah.
There's no F.
Our tier list looks like a dude wearing a top hat with a long nose.
Oh?
Fair enough.
I don't know if you really squint.
If you really squint.
All right.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna do this again for season 2,
Maybe.
and if we do, what the like what's it called? What the proportions are going to be for S,
Yeah.
A, B, C, and D for season 2.
I think
because
if we
hopefully
do it again,
they'll be higher because hopefully
Yeah.
we've improved.
Hopefully, I just don't want as many D tiers. That's the goal.
We're gonna change the format in season 2.
Yep.
A lot of the problem with a lot of the super long ones is actually not even just the topic,
It's the
but
time
like
before the topic.
intro section taking
Yeah.
way too long. Because like our intro section stories, I think have a pretty. We could have done like a tier list for just our intro sections,
Yeah.
and I think most of them would have been like C and D.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I
With
actually
just a
forgot
few
to mention
standing
this,
out.
but I was like, yeah, I like from season 2 onward. Like, hopefully, I just don't. There's never a reason for me to share stories because, like, I've been listening to some of the stories I share on podcast. I'm like, this is just not that interesting. Like, I
mean,
just
the thing
don't
is, like,
know why I
I
say
think we're-
this.
I think we're interesting people, but we don't do that many things that are interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure most of our life is just rinse and repeat. There's not much.
Yeah, so it's like it's not
This
like,
or
oh,
that.
I went to Argentina this
Yeah,
week and I
yeah.
met 3 hot dudes who were covered in oil.
Okay,
and we had
wait,
sex.
hold on.
Like there was none of that going on.
The only story
It's
I
just
had
like,
that was mildly
yeah,
interesting,
I went to work again.
or at least for
Work sucked.
my
Yeah.
from my point of view, was the rave thing, because there was like
Yeah.
something to it. But besides that,
I mean, literally the only story I can recall from all of our episodes is the Harry going to court.
Yeah.
Because not only was that like an interesting story, but we also riffed on it a lot. And I
Yeah.
think our riffing was pretty funny.
Yeah.
like we had a pretty good bits off
Actually,
of that. Other than that, I literally can't remember
Harry's
any of the
would
other
definitely
stories.
be the S tier story, and that's the only one there.
Yeah. And the only one. All the other ones
Yeah.
are just D and C.
Because, I mean, all the other ones are really me just talking about work.
Same.
And,
Yeah. It was mostly just work. Like we just talked about our work
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. It's just
and it
not
was
that
like about the
interesting,
same thing every time.
Yeah. So season 2, we're gonna replace that segment with something hopefully more interesting. And then hopefully we get a little bit more organized and are talking about topics and stuff just from experience. Because the nice thing about season 1 is we tried a lot of different things. Like there were definitely episodes where we just came with stories prepared and we just took turns doing those stories. And some of those worked pretty well and some of them didn't work as well because the stories themselves weren't that interesting. We did some episodes where it was a little bit more freestyle. Most of the like discussion ones were pretty freestyle. And then there were some prompt ones. So I think we got some good intel on what works and what doesn't work. So hopefully we'll have less C and D ones.
We'll have our third pilot soon.
Right, we have more C and D than we have A and S. So I'm hoping for season 2 that we have more, at least A, than we have C. No. I hope we have more A than we have D. Right now, our A and D are tied. I hope we have more.
I just want
A
less
than
D's.
D.
That's all I care about.
I think we'll probably have like 1 or 2 in our handful in C, just because it's just
C's are okay.
But as long as we have a majority B and high, B and above, I think that's fine. I was also gonna note. I think if we do this again, I think this would be the episode 19. Standard. And we're going to do 20 episode seasons, and then episode 20 will always be like a more future note thing. I think possibly leading into.
Well, we don't need to do the future note every time because then it's just like, oh, here's this. But it's gonna be like something more like extensive than just
more memorable than just the top regular.
Are we?
I think our episode 20s always need to be like something that takes a little bit of investment in time. That's not just like, okay, let me quickly do this 10 minutes before the episode.
I agree.
Because they are finales,
we gotta
we gotta
as a trio decide episode 20's topic to make sure it's like absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah,
because I think
just
if
make
all
19
three of
tier
us,
lists.
I think if all three of us like input on the topic idea, and we all agree it's good, then it's probably going to be at least B tier, hopefully A tier.
And like if it's a topic we all sort of agree with and think is, it probably also means that we all have something to say.
Exactly.
With that topic,
which will help. So. Yeah.
Do you think we should also like regularly
flashback to Harry offering that topic with like relationship or like sex, and we were just like me and Ash were just like, "You really trying to hurt us, huh?"
Well, it was because I was reading Azokiana.
You're only trying to talk about an hour or talk for an hour by yourself and just have me and Harry
just
flex. Just nod the whole time.
Okay, that wasn't the thing. It was just because I was reading Azokiana.
Yeah,
and I was like, this shit is like good, but at the same time, I'm like, this is so.
I just thought it was funny.
So unrealistic.
I was like, what do you want us to say?
Yeah, thinking about it, it was technically a very poor topic to choose.
Also, if any,
well, at least you gave us options.
If anybody actually listens to this podcast and gets to it somehow, then by the time we start season 2, and you have ideas for how we could improve, comment below.
That's true. Yes.
All right.
Well, let's wrap this up. Does anyone have anything they want to add?
No.
I am surprised. I think we agreed on most things. I think there were like 3 episodes that we had big like gulfs on,
but those were between A and
those, like,
C,
3.
and that's only because some of the episodes were like some people remembered them a lot and some just didn't. So it's
But I think like besides like 3 or 4, we got pretty close with most of them. And there were like 6 or 7 that we all just agreed like, exactly the same tier. So that was actually pretty nutty. Okay. As always, thank you so much for dropping in and listening to us ramble. You can find us on youtube.com/@thederailed_podcast. That's youtube.com/@thederailed_podcast with a new episode every Tuesday. Hit the subscribe button if you want to catch our future episodes, and hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode. This has been Derailed, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.